this is Stephanie.
Hey, I'm Kara, and we are Virtually Kindergarten.
Today is part 2 of our writing strategies video, and we're going to go over some tips on how to support your kindergartner with writing.
Our first tip is to practice consistently. Just like kids learn to talk by talking, they learn to write by writing. So make sure you're giving them time every day to write and draw.
Our next point is to just kind of have a discussion about what your child's going to be writing about that day. Just like Kara and Stella modeled in our part 1 video, they had a discussion about what Stella was going to write before she actually wrote it.
And just like in the last video too, it's good to, you can clap the words out with them so they know how many words they're working on writing. You can draw the lines at the bottom of the paper, one line for each word, so they can see how many words they're working on. Our next tip is to encourage invented spelling. This is when the student says the word and writes the sounds they hear. And in the beginning of kindergarten, that may just be the beginning sound. And if they draw something like a dinosaur in our part 1 video, even if they don't know what sound is at the beginning of dinosaur, you can still lead them to that. You can say that's a D, and you can show them the letter D and work with them to label their picture. So that's how you can kind of start helping them with the writing process. And then as they grow, they'll start hearing those middle and ending sounds. But don't worry about having them spell words correctly. Just have them write the sounds that they hear.
However, we do want them to spell their sight words correctly. So we encourage you to have a word wall where all of their sight words are listed. They can find them easily and they can spell them the right way in their writing.
Our next tip is to make sure your child has a place to write every day, like a writing journal. And you can encourage them to write about the things they love and let them choose what they're writing about. We're going to link a list of some writing prompts below, so if they get stuck, you can give them some ideas of what they could write about. But once they find something they love to write about, let them write about that. Even if they're writing about the same thing every day, that's okay, because they are still practicing and building confidence. It's just like reading the same book over and over again.
Our next tip is to give your child something to focus on each time they're writing, a little challenge. So maybe have them focus on their punctuation that writing session, or to make sure they're checking to make sure they have spaces in between each word.
And speaking of spaces, we're going to link a fun thing called Spaceman below. So it looks like an astronaut, and you can print it out and you can glue it to one of the giant popsicle sticks.
That's cute.
And it's just a fun visual. So they'll hold the spaceman after their word to remind them to leave a space, and then they'll leave the spaceman there, and then they'll start writing the next word so that they'll definitely have that space. They could just use their finger. You could use just a plain popsicle stick, the fun drink stirs. Or even the fun like witch fingers around Halloween, or the little finger puppets, anything to make it fun for them to remember. Our last tip is to encourage your child to share their writing. They can share it with friends, family members, even the family pet, whatever is going to build their confidence and get them to love writing.
So just make writing fun. It doesn't have to be a formal writing assignment every time. Make a grocery list, write a note to a family member, send a card, but just make sure they're having fun.
We hope these tips were helpful, and if you have something that works really well with your kindergartner, please leave it in the comments below.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.